Chair recognizes that the Lenore County Board of Education has established a quorum and calls the November 6, 2023 regular monthly meeting to order. Chair recognizes Mr. Nick Harvey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let us pray. May the words spoken in this room tonight be beneficial to the students, parents, staff, and administrators in our school system. And may we be led by the guiding principle to always base our decisions on the best interests of our young people. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I don't generally comment on the Pledge of Allegiance, but from up here where I was, that sounded really good. I heard a lot of young voices out there. Thank you, guys. Chair recognizes Mr. Brett Williams to present the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the board, tonight is my honor and privilege to present to you for your consideration and hopefully your approval tonight's agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the agenda?
Move to adopt the agenda.
Motion by Mr. Anderson. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Woods. We have a motion by Mr. Anderson and a second by Mr. Woods to approve the board agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Dr. Outlaw Starkey, could you hear us?
I can't hear you guys.
You can't hear us.
She said I can. She said I can.
She said she can't hear.
Oh, she can.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, motion carries 7-0. The agenda is set for tonight. At this time, we generally recognize our, first of all, let me mention for everybody can obviously see, and for those who are listening on video, Dr. Outlaw Starkey couldn't be with us tonight, so she's joining us remotely. Thank you, Dr. Outlaw, for joining us remotely. Also, we'd like to recognize our elected officials, and I do see Mr. Preston Harris, County Commissioner, with us tonight. Thank you for being with us. I do have a couple of comments I would like to make. We want to continue to thank all Lenore County public school employees for their outstanding dedication, commitment, and hard work to ensure all Lenore County public school students are successful as possible. We want to continue to commit to providing for a safe and healthy environment for all our students, employees, and community. November is Career Development Month. Ms. Amy Jones will have a presentation tonight highlighting opportunities that are available for Lenore County public school students to participate in. And as always, Mr. Williams will share some more news about Lenore County's public school students and staff. And with that, Chair recognizes Mr. Williams to present the following honors, recognitions, and accomplishments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. November is Career Development Month. It's one of 2 months during the year that we highlight our CTE programs. We celebrate them all year, but we highlight them during these 2 months and really showcase them. Miss Amy Jones, our CTE director and high school director, tonight will showcase our CTE programs for you and focus on career development. So we're excited about that. I had the honor earlier tonight in going to Wayne County, to Dudley, North Carolina, just south of Goldsboro. Tri-County Electric Membership Corporation, Touchstone Energy Cooperative, presented its annual awards to teachers, their mini grants, and we just have 9 eligible schools for the local competition, and the rest of our schools compete in the state competition. But even with having 9 eligible schools, and one of our neighboring counties, Wayne, has 3 times as many eligible schools as we do, because the kids living in that school district have to be in the coverage area served by that electric co-op. So we have 9 eligible schools, and just from those 9 of our 17 schools, and Wayne County has many more eligible schools, almost all of theirs are, and Duplin County, most of their schools are as well. But over half the grants they awarded were to Lenore County Public Schools teachers. I'm so excited for that. It's the second highest total we've ever received, and we're really, really excited and happy, proud of our teachers. And tonight, when I was over there in Goldsboro, our principals, like Dr. Moon, who's here tonight, and many of our other principals and teachers were there arriving, dressed up to go in and for the reception and to take their pictures and receive their checks. 100% of those dollars will go to our classrooms for teaching and learning, and we're so proud that for the 7th consecutive year, Lenoir County teachers have dominated this competition and have earned more than any teacher, than any other county in a 3-county area. So we celebrate them, but we're marking our progress too, and we point that out not to shade anyone else's efforts, but simply to say we're proud of our folks, and they rock that, and the state level awards will come out in a few weeks, and we look forward to hearing about those winners as well. So congratulations to our Bright Ideas winners. Next month we will have the names for you, and we'll try to honor them. Okay?
Could I interrupt you just a second?
Yes.
Charles, Dr. Outlaw says she can't hear us. Could you see if we could help us? And while we're waiting for that, I do have one more announcement. There is a silver Toyota Highlander whose interior lights are on in the parking lot. I don't know if that affects anybody here. Thank you.
I can't hear you at all.
Thanks.
Mr. Harvey, tell her to log back in.
Log back in.
Yeah, do the same link, use the same link.
Okay,
Can you hear me now?
who can't hear you?
Can you?
Is her computer turned up?
It's,
Is her device turned up?
yeah, that's, I don't have any way to tell her that. Can you tell her to check her audio?
Device is turned up. She has her computer turned
My device isn't up.
So as y'all probably already guessed, we're gonna have a presentation out on digital learning, but I don't think our students are gonna be doing a presentation on remote meeting. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Just wanna call her, we can call her, and then she can be in video. It's 2:42.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I mean, it'll be just a minute, but he can go ahead with his if you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
While they're getting Dr. Outlaw set up where she can hear Mr. Williams.
so we apologize for the delay. As I was saying, tonight, Tri-County is presenting their awards to our teachers, and the numbers on that are, we're proud to announce that more than half of those grant checks are going to LCPS teachers. Of the 117 mini grants presented by Tri-County this year, 67 are going to LCPS teachers. Of the $98,162 in grant funds awarded, LCPS teachers won $55,289. With these results, LCPS continues a string of dominance in the Tri-County competition. So congratulations to all of our winners, and we'll highlight those with the names next month. Tonight we have the opportunity to celebrate an educational leader that we're very proud of. Our LCPS Principal of the Year for 2023-2024. He's just been named Dr. Michael Moon of E.B. Frink Middle School. Dr. Moon is in his 4th year as principal of Frink and in his 16th year with LCPS. A career that began in an English classroom at Kinston High School and has advanced through a series of administrative positions since 2013. A 2004 graduate of NC State with a bachelor's degree in English, Dr. Moon took on the added role of journalism instructor and advisor when he joined the KHS faculty. Under his guidance, Kinston High School students won more than 60 state awards for journalism and Viking Press. The student newspaper was honored as an all North Carolina publication for 4 consecutive years, and in 2013 was the winner of the Tar Heel Award, the highest honor presented by the North Carolina Scholastic Media Association. Dr. Moon became an assistant principal at Kinston High School in 2015, and 2 years later was named assistant principal at Kentucky Savannah K-8 School, where he served until moving to Frink Middle School. He earned a Master of School Administration degree from East Carolina in 2015 and is a graduate of the prestigious East Carolina University's Principal Fellows Program. He was awarded this Doctor of Education degree from ECU last May. Dr. Moon is representing LCPS in the selection process for the Southeast Regional Principal of the Year, the winner of which becomes a finalist for the title of Wells Fargo North Carolina Principal of the Year. Congratulations to our Principal of the Year, Dr. Michael Moon. If you come forward. So we went out, the prize patrol went out, the members of the selection committee and my executive leadership team and I went out to present this to Dr. Moon. And he was doing what busy principals do. He was busy, and he doesn't want me to tell us about him, but he was back in the school handling some business. And he came bursting out of the office, and he saw us standing there, he said he thought he was in trouble. You're not in trouble, this is a good thing. But would you like to say anything about what this award means to you?
It's just, thinking about all the leaders in the North County schools. It's a tremendous honor. It's really humbling to stand up here in front of everyone. And, just as long as I can, I'll use the platform to talk about all the great things that are going on at Frink Middle School. I told the committee when we were doing the interview, that's the only way I was even comfortable interviewing for the process was on behalf of our staff at Frink, because I know we're doing some really good work there at the school. I believe in everything the North County Schools is doing, and, we're just going to keep moving forward. So thank you, sir.
Absolutely. So this is, I'm thinking, could be accurately called the Frink Middle School night. Next, staying at Frink Middle School, we're celebrating math teacher, Ms. Pauline Lindo, who was chosen by the North Carolina Council of Teachers of Mathematics as the district's outstanding secondary mathematics teacher for 22-23. In her 6th year at Frink, Ms. Lindo logged more than 20 years has logged more than 20 years in a classroom. A native of Jamaica, she came to LCPS in 2007 to teach at Rochelle Middle School. She holds a bachelor's degree in education from Western Carolina University and a Master of Arts in Learning degree from Nova Southeastern University. Among her other honors and awards is the title of LCPS Teacher of the Year for 22-23. Congratulations to Ms. Lindo for another well-deserved recognition. So Ms. Lindo, as soon as I met Ms. Lindo, I knew that she did not grow up around here. She did tell me she's an authority on, she served on the Teacher of the Year selection committee this year, and a music teacher, a band teacher, was up in that competition, and his students allowed us to create they were going to write a song, and Ms. Lindo, she didn't even miss a beat. Tell them what song you chose. One Love, Caribbean music, that's right. Would you like to say anything about what this means to you? Also, our outgoing Teacher of the Year for LCPS.
I just want to stand here and say thank you very much. It's a great honor to know that Lenore County gave international teacher the opportunity. And we were welcomed by administration, parents, students. So thank you very much for believing in us, or believing in me, specifically when I did not believe in myself. And I could not do it without my kids. Who everybody you don't nobody know, I call them my honey bun. So from my honey bun and from me, thank you very much.
Ms. Lindo is too modest and she wouldn't tell you this, but Ms. Lindo gets strong scores every year, year in and year out. She makes her children believe in her and believe in themselves. And that's a superpower in this business. So we're very grateful for her, very thankful for what she means to our kids every day. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes my report.
Any questions for Mr. Williams? Any comments? Thank you, Mr. Williams. Still more examples of amazing things that are happening in Lenore County Public Schools. Ms. Taylor, does anyone sign up for public comments? Thank you, ma'am. We will now move to the presentation portion of the agenda. Chair recognizes Mrs. Melissa Lynch to present a digital learning showcase.
Good morning.
We're
We're not going back to the morning.
We have only the best. That's why we won that national award, because Ms. Lynch is in charge of that.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, school board members. I am pleased tonight to have Southeast Elementary School here with their digital learning specialist, Ms. Casey Godbold, one of our 12 Apple Distinguished Schools.
And that's an appropriate place to pause and remind everyone about the 20th.
Yes, sir. On November 20th, Monday, November 20th, we will be celebrating all 12 of our Apple Distinguished Schools, and we would love for all of you to be in attendance. 8:45 a.m. is our floating reception, and the program begins at 9:30.
Currently, there are only 3 in North Carolina, and we're adding 12 to that list.
That's exactly right. Very proud. At this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Godbold and her staff and students, who she'll introduce, and they'll share with you some of the examples of creation that they've put in place in their school in the past 9 weeks.
Good evening. I'm Casey Godbold, the Digital Learning Specialist at Southeast Elementary School. On October 9th, 10th, and 11th, we had the opportunity to receive Apple training. Over these 3 days, all teachers were able to participate, which impacted all of our students K-5. On day one, all teachers K-5 and our Encore teachers were able to come to a training session with the Apple specialist to enhance their skills and brainstorm lessons for their classrooms. These are a few pictures of our teachers, admin, and other DLSs from around the county learning together. On day two, 6 of our teachers, spanning from 2nd grade to 5th grade, planned a lesson with our Apple specialist and our digital learning team to execute in their classrooms on the following day. And the teachers are listed on the slides. Here are a few pictures of our Southeast teachers and other digital learning specialists teaming up together to plan a lesson with the teachers. After planning, our Apple specialist, the digital learning team, and the classroom teacher collaborated to teach the lesson using the different Apple applications such as Pages, GarageBand, Numbers, and Keynote. One of our teachers, our 2nd grade teacher, Miss Jennifer Bell, she was teaching RL 2.7, which is use information gained from illustrations and words in a print or digital text to demonstrate understanding of its characters, setting, or plot. In Miss Bell's lesson, she read the story aloud to the students, she discussed the text, and had students recreate the setting of the book using Keynote. After they illustrated the setting using their Apple Pencil, they recorded themselves describing the setting. Then they exported and uploaded to Seesaw. I would like to add here, all of our students K-5 have their own Apple Pencil. That's something we were able to provide this year. Here's a few pictures of those lessons. Our other 2nd grade teacher, Miss Latoya Phillips, she was teaching 2MD.10, which is organize, represent, and interpret data with up to 4 categories. In her lessons, students utilized the Numbers app as a tool to deepen their learning with graphing and collecting data. They used a spinner to predict colors and graphed and tallied them using their Apple Pencils and recorded themselves explaining their thinking. Ms. Phillips said, using technology with the math lesson kept my students engaged longer. They enjoyed being able to collaborate with each other and were very proud of their finished products. Here's some photographs of those lessons. Tamia and Amia are here from Ms. Phillips' class, and they're going to showcase their numbers document. They're very nervous. So as they're coming around, you can see there's 3 tabs at the top. They first graphed and tallied, then they recorded their vocabulary, and then added the chart and a video at the end on the 3rd tab.
You wrote that?
You go, girl.
I like recording myself to answer the questions. I also like using the Apple Pencils.
Absolutely, great.
Want to see?
Miss Natalie Smith, she teaches our 3rd and 4th grade combo class. They were studying RI 3.4, which is determine the meaning of general academic and domain-specific words and phrases in a text relevant to a grade 3 topic or subject area, aka vocabulary. Miss Smith's class is Pages out, and she's gonna tell you some more about that.
Good evening. So my students, we used a graphic organizer to help them get better acclimated and learn their critical vocabulary words that went along with our story of the week. We decided to get a little bit more creative. Instead of just writing with their Apple Pencil, we decided to record themselves saying the sentence that went along with their vocabulary word. They got to look up pictures on the internet that helped them kind of, I've lost my words.
Relate to visualize.
Yes, visualize, thank you. Visualize their vocabulary word. And so I loved using this in our classroom because it's engaging to the kids, it helps, it's more relatable to them, and we're definitely going to continue using this graphic organizer along with many more Apple apps in the future in our classroom. So I'm going to leave it to my kids to kind of show you and tell you a little bit more about it.
There's some pictures here, and then Larry and Ayana are going to come around and showcase their learning. You can start here.
Getting to use the Apple Pencil, it makes learning so much more fun.
Nice. Realistic. You enjoy that?
You did a great job. I'm very impressed.
It makes it easier for me it helps me, it makes it more fun because you have recordings and like
That's what you good for that age.
Absolutely. Writing it and speaking it and just doing it.
Good job.
And we help. I'm not nervous to come here.
It's a good word. It should be a word.
Okay. Move too fast.
Okay.
So this is a vocabulary graphic organizer. And here is the vocabulary word, and this is the picture. And this is the sentence.
That helps you learn, you think?
And this is the definition.
Great. Great job.
Great job. How does that work? Okay, great job.
This is a vocabulary graphic organizer. This is the vocabulary, this is the pictures, and this is
So you just record that and it writes it?
and this is the definition.
Awesome. Great job.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's an awesome job.
So next, we have Miss Hawkins. She is our other third grade teacher. Miss Hawkins was teaching RL 3.5, which is referred to parts of stories, dramas, and poems when writing or speaking about a text using terms such as chapter, scene, and stanza. Describe how each successive part builds on earlier sections. Miss Hawkins was specifically focusing on poetry. I'm going to let her explain some more. They were using GarageBand, and they rapped one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Hello. I'm Mrs. Hawkins, and I am a third grade teacher, as Kate said, at Southeast Elementary School. That particular week, we were working on the elements of poetry, and we was trying to figure out how to bring this together with the beat. So we used GarageBand, which was perfect. And the kids, we kind of looked at some different stories, and Dr. Seuss was the one. So what we did, we used Dr. Seuss, with one of his poetry. It's in a book called One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. And so the kids had a lot of fun creating that material, and they're here to share it with you tonight.
So Bentley and Caden are here. They're going to walk around and show you their GarageBand, but I have their raps here. So I'm just going to play snippets of them as they're walking around. Let them get started. All right, so this first one is Bentley. And I think the speaker might have.
I've never used GarageBand.
I haven't either.
Okay. All right. You like that garage band?
Fish, red fish, blue fish, black fish, blue fish, old fish, blue fish. This was a little star. This was a little car. Say what? Say what?
That was
Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy it? Yeah.
Okay, so next is Cadence.
Like that. Is that you? All right. Go ahead on. Rap, girl. You go.
Why they are sad? Why are they sad? That glad that I don't know. Go ask your dad. Sure, my kids, sure, my dad.
All right. At this time, we'll take any questions or comments that you have for me or the kids. But we want to thank you so much for having us tonight. We have enjoyed it, and I know that the kids have too.
So,
Okay.
I was just going to say to Ms. Williams, principal of Southeast Elementary School, to Ms. Stocks, Ms. Godbold, Ms. Hawkins, Ms. Murphy, Ms. Phillips, staff members, and to Maya, Amaya, Larry, Ayana, Bentley, and Caden. Congratulations. You guys did something. You might not know it. You did great. You probably know that because you heard them clap, and they clapped, and I clapped, and we all meant it. You did an amazing job tonight. But what you might not know is you guys have done some things tonight in presenting that a lot of adults would not want to do. Yes. Present before a large group and on television. So let's give them another round of applause. I'm very proud of them and very proud of all of you all. You're a true blessing to these young people, and what you're doing in their lives every day is amazing. So thank you for that.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Hill.
So are there any questions from Mrs. Lynch, Mrs. Herring, Mrs. Hawkins, Mrs. Murphy, or Mrs. Phillips? Any comments? All right, thank you all, Mrs. Lynch, Mrs. Herring, Mrs. Hawkins, Mrs. Murphy, Mrs. Phillips, and all the students. Thank you, job well done. Now, I would like to say, I was on the board when the county commissioners went in with the school board and were able to get one-to-one, have the one-to-one initiative, so every student had an iPad, every teacher had a computer. So as a sitting board member now, I must that one of the most gratifying moments for me as a board member is when these young people come to this meeting and present, and every time they do an outstanding job. And I'm so proud of them, and I'm glad they had the opportunity to be able to use one-to-one initiatives to be able to learn and become engaged. So thank you very much. You all did an outstanding job. And it's just more examples of the great things that are going in Lenore County Public School System. Thank you, ladies. Chair recognizes Mrs. Amy Jones to present an update on Career Development Month.
I will certainly not be as entertaining as what we just had, so, but I'll do my very best. But I am excited to talk to you tonight about Career Development Month and share with you the good things that are going on here in Lenore County Public Schools. So Governor Cooper has proclaimed November as NC Career Development Month and November 15th as Career Development Coordinator Day. We would like to take an opportunity to recognize our county's Career Development Coordinator, Mrs. Brittany Harrison, who does so much to connect our students to career experiences. She is passionate about her work, and when we asked what her favorite part of her job is, her response is, "I love being able to connect students to real-world experiences." She was not able to be with us tonight, but hopefully we can recognize her at a future board meeting. So Lenore County Public Schools and the Board of Education recognizes the importance of career development and career awareness. Career preparation and readiness are the focus of our school system's Goal 1. Lenore County Public School students will graduate from high school prepared to begin a career in the workforce or with a plan to complete their preparation for a career in an institution of higher education or the military. And we know that can't just start in high school. So as you can see here, Lenore County Public Schools has a comprehensive career development continuum focused on all grade levels, kindergarten through 12th grade. So we have career awareness, career exploration, and career preparation, and those things are inclusive of interest inventories, career fairs, business and industry field trips, cooperative education, pre-apprenticeships, and our flagship apprenticeship program.
And we keep moving those things down and those awareness opportunities down to elementary, and with the goal of every elementary school student, by the time he or she leaves 5th grade, they've been to one community college campus at a minimum, LCC, one community college campus, and one 4-year institution at a minimum for every student. That's our goal, just to increase awareness and then to start some of those things that prior to now have been solely at the high school level, like pre-apprenticeships and early apprenticeship opportunities, immersion, job shadowing, always been high school endeavors. And we are planning to bring those things down to middle school. Why not? And provide as much information as we can. And this actually aligns with what North Carolina is doing, and Superintendent Truitt has announced in her platform, and DPI has put out in their framework for encouraging school districts to do that too. And we've had it in the works for the last 3 years. It's been part of our strategic plan, and we're continuing to go forward with it, but we're pleased that it now aligns with what all of North Carolina and the public schools are doing.
Certainly. This is an example of one of the activities that we did with our elementary school students and our middle school students. This is Careers on Wheels. And again, the wheels are just the interest, to spark the interest, but what really happens is they get out there and talk with industry and employers and engage with the business community and see what careers are out there in our local area. We also take a lot of field trips. The picture on the left are 5th grade students visiting the high school. And they were doing CPR. They went to all the different CTE career areas, and the teachers engaged with them and had a hands-on project so they could see what they could be doing when they get to high school. In the middle, Be Pro, Be Proud. That is a field trip that was brought to us, which I'll talk about in a minute. And on the right-hand side, they're visiting with Jeff Jordan, who is the culinary instructor at LCC, and our students are getting a look at what they could do as a post-secondary pathway. Be Pro, Be Proud was a unique site-based field trip. The tractor trailer parked at Kinston High School for 3 days, and all of our middle and high school students had the opportunity to bring groups of students to experience simulators and hands-on career exploration activities. You can see they're simulating driving a truck, operating a forklift, they're simulating welding. There were just a lot of really great activities in that particular event. We also have a lot of guest speakers that come to our CTE classrooms. Our middle schools had a unique opportunity to engage in a financial literacy workshop hosted by State Employees Credit Union staff. As you can see, the focus was on how to manage your money once you become an adult and have a job, because we want them to have a job when they become adults. One of the biggest career-focused events that we had this past spring was the Regional Industry and Manufacturing Expo, our RIME event. The Regional Industry and Manufacturing Expo was a multi-county event hosted here in Lenoir County by our Economic Regional Development and Lenoir Community College. High school students toured industries and then went to the expo at the Aerospace and Advanced Manufacturing site in the Jetport, where they engaged with over 100 industries. In addition to this, as a wonderful follow-up, this fall our Chamber of Commerce hosted a job and career fair at the Kinston Community Center, and all of our high schools took 50 to 100 students to that event. During the school day, they took their resumes, they were able to walk around and find out what things they could do right now to get a job or look towards the future. And of course, our students continue to reap the benefits of our sustained partnership with Crown Equipment Corporation. Students who successfully complete the Youth Apprenticeship Program with LCPS, Crown, and LCC are offered real, full-time employment with Crown upon their high school graduation. This offer comes with benefits package as well as an educational benefit that allows students to complete their post-secondary degree or certification. We are very proud of these three young men. They did a signing day that we were invited to this past spring. All three of them were offered full-time employment. The young man in the middle is in college, but he is eligible to come back and work with them on his breaks over the summer.
What Zaire's doing in college.
Zaire is an engineering student at NC State University, and he's a prestigious Goodnight Scholar, so he's representing our
Full
community
academic
very well.
scholarship in engineering, and Crown was so impressed with him, impressed with all three, and they put two of them to work now.
Immediately.
But they changed their policies for Zaire because he so impressed them that they're going to employ him when he's on break from NC State in the engineering program as a Goodnight Scholar, and they'll employ him in the summers and then guarantee him employment if he continues to meet performance criteria when he graduates. So it's just such a great fit and a great partnership, and really kind of pushing the envelope on what we've always done in terms of one of our core missions is connecting our young people to a prosperous future. No better example than that.
That's right. And we currently have 4 youth apprentices working at Crown this school year, and they're doing very well. Mr. Williams already mentioned about the requirement from the state for career development plans for 7th, 8th, and 10th grades. We are very well positioned for this. We've been working on this for several years. We've been engaged with Major Clarity, which is a career exploration platform in our 4th through 12th grades. In that, our students take a learning styles inventory, a Holland Codes, which is their personality assessment, which aligns them to careers that might interest them in the future. And they're also able in that platform to do post-secondary exploration of community college, junior college, 4-year college, anything really that they want to do, trade school, technical school. And then, of course, having that career development plan in place. All of the things that they do in Major Clarity are captured and collected in those plans on the platform, which translate into a plan for every single student. We want them all to know what they want to do when they walk across that stage at graduation. We want them to have a plan, and we want it to start well before that time. So we're really excited about the work we're doing there. The schools are engaged with that right now, making sure the students are hitting those different activities in Major Clarity so that they have their plans in place. And we also have a very special focus on our special populations, where we focus on our underserved populations and make sure that we're creating access to opportunities for all students. And I just wanted to highlight this. This is a group of students at North Lenoir High School who have earned their Serve Safe Food Handler credential. Students all over Lenoir County are earning industry-recognized credentials such as NCCER, OSHA certification, NC Nurse Aid 1, Adobe Photoshop, SB2, Automotive Service Safety, just to name a few. This particular teacher, her entire class got certified on the first try, and right now across the district we have over 70 students who have earned that particular credential. So this is just a small part of that larger group. But we're doing really well with this, and we're proud of the progress we're making in credentialing for our students. We'd love for just about all of our students to walk across the stage with an industry-recognized credential when they graduate from high school. And I just want to thank you for your continued support of career development and of the CTE program here in Lenoir County. Do you have any questions that I could answer for you?
Any questions for Mrs. Jones? Any comments? Thank you, Mrs. Jones.
Okay.
Just more examples of the opportunity that Lenore County Public School students can participate in to be successful. Chair recognizes Ms. Amy Jones to present an update on the Lenore County Public School Business Advisory Council.
All right, thank you again for having me this evening and for allowing me to talk about the work that our Business Advisory Council is doing. What you have is a scaled down presentation of what we gave to our Business Advisory Council, and this is our fall update. Our Business Advisory Council met on October the 25th here in the Central Services Boardroom. And the purpose of the Business Advisory Council is to assist the Lenore County Public Schools Board of Education in performing its duty to provide career and technical education instruction, activities, and services. And this comes straight from the legislation. Our objectives are to identify economic and workforce development trends related to the training and educational needs of the local community, and to advocate for strong local career and technical education programs that include, as appropriate, development of career pathways that provide work-based learning opportunities and prepare students for post-secondary educational certifications and credentialing for high-demand careers, which you've just seen examples of. Membership of the council shall have at least 9 members. Educational representatives are the superintendent, CTE director, a high school principal, and the president of the community college. And then from our industry, business, and community, we like representatives from business and industry, human resources directors, community organizations, workforce development, parents, and apprenticeship personnel. And you have been provided with the membership roster in the notes for this presentation. And it's at least 9 members. We can have more than that. Currently, we have 13. During the meeting, Mrs. Herring and Mr. Williams presented some LCPS highlights, inclusive of the award that the early college, the recognition they earned through the U.S. News and World Report, our work with Science Olympiad, the initiative that includes every single high school, elementary, and middle school in Lenore County. Our work with the Science Fair, our robotics team that's inclusive of all the middle and high schools in Lenore County that meets weekly. Our partnership with Lenore Community College, and we highlighted the Lancer Academy that's located at Kinston High School. And you've heard about the wonderful grants that our teachers have been earning. We showcased that with our Business Advisory Council as well. And then, of course, we shared with them the great news about our Apple Distinguished Schools recognition. For CTE updates, oh, I'm not up there. I was just rolling. You all should have told me. I'm so sorry. Let me try that again.
Well, technical issues today.
There we go. Okay. You missed all of those wonderful pictures. I'm so sorry. Okay, there we go. So that was Lancer Academy, and then of course our teachers that won our grants last year in our Apple Distinguished Schools recognition. And then we transitioned over and I shared with them CTE updates, including the pulled out career and technical education high school course guide so they could see all the pathways that we offer in Lenore County. We shared with them overview of our summer programming, which you've heard a lot about over the past several board meetings, including our partnership programs with our ACE Academy and our District C, and then sharing with them all the topics that we included in that summer programming. Talked a little bit about the District C, the very successful partnerships we've had with our local businesses to give those students a real internship marketing experience over the summer. And then our ACE Drone Academy, which takes place at the AAMC, and we're hosted by entities such as the Global Transpark, the Jetport, and Draken. Here they are in front of the Antonov airplane this past summer. And then finally, we wrapped up the meeting with a partnership discussion with our comprehensive local needs assessment, which is an assessment that the Career and Technical Education Department completes every 2 years. Responses from the comprehensive local needs assessment are used to write our CTE local plan to drive our goals and mission for the upcoming school year. So, and of course, you all will see that this spring. But it generated a lot of good discussion, and that is something that we will continue in our spring meeting as well. And our next meeting will be spring of 2023. We have not landed on a date yet, but I'm looking around February. So just be looking for another update at that time.
Cool.
Do y'all have any questions about the Business Advisory Council?
Any questions for Mrs. Jones? Any comments? Thank you, Mrs. Jones,
2024,
for
you're
that.
right. I'll fix that, Mr. Anderson. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring to present an overview of the Lenore County Public School 2024-2025 instructional calendar development process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board members. I appreciate your attention tonight. I just wanted to share with you our calendar planning process and to share with you first who our calendar planning committee consists of. It has 20 members. There's representatives from 16 of the schools, so there's one person from each of the 16 schools. That's because the early college has a separate calendar, so that's why it's not 17. There's a representative from each department. So Central Services has a rep, Transportation, Pre-K, and Maintenance. The responsibilities of being a committee member are multifaceted. Their job is to go back to the school and explain the school calendar legislation to their staff, communicate the required state holidays that are set by the State Personnel Commission for state employees, and we pull those down off their website every year. They have to present the calendar options to their staff and explain different elements of each calendar. So they'll have to be very clear on all the differences between the calendars. And they have to coordinate with the principal at their school the time and place of the staff meeting and where to post the calendar options in the school for staff members to have time to view. They're also responsible for overseeing the voting process, and of course we encourage full participation. And we report the votes to the Associate Superintendent's office. So we want to know how many voted for A, how many voted for B, how many voted for C. So confirmation of committee members happened October 15th. The committee meeting will, we will have our meetings November 16th and 30th. We may not meet the 30th depending on how much work we get done on the 16th, but I've scheduled an additional day in the event that we need to reconvene. The votes will be tabulated and reported no later than December 15th, 2023 to my office. January 8th is our board meeting day for January, and I will at that time present to you the calendar as an information item. It'll be the one that was selected by the staff. And then at the next board meeting at February 5th, the calendar will be presented as an action item for your approval. And I just want to thank you so much for helping support us through our calendar creation process and all the committee work that goes into it. It's more complicated than most people think. So thank you so much. I can answer any questions that you might have.
All right, any questions, Mrs. Herring?
One of our goals is really to get all staff members involved. Over time in this school system and every school system, a lot of questions come up about the calendar and people say, well, I didn't know, what about this? So we really try to drill down to the school level and to every single staff member, right down to having them sign and get consensus on how they vote for the calendar. So trying to get a calendar that everybody supports.
Any comments? All right, thank you, Mrs. Herring. Chair recognizes Mr. Nick Harvey to present an update on the Teachers Memorial upset bid process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, board members. Tonight I wanted to provide to you an update regarding the Teachers Memorial property. Round 10 of the upset bid process for that property ended on Monday, October 30th, 2023. The current bid to purchase the property is $228,000. The upset bid offer amount currently stands at $239,450. That process this round will end on Thursday, November 9th at 4 p.m. We will continue to update the board as this process continues. I want to thank Ms. Taylor for helping facilitate the bid process. I entertain any questions you may have regarding Teachers Memorial.
Any questions for Mr. Harvey? Any comment? Thank you, Mr. Harvey.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Nick Harvey to present a request for naming the Woodington Middle School baseball complex.
Yes, thank you again. After receiving a request from community members, Principal Patrick Philippi from Woodington Middle School has submitted a request to name the baseball complex after Coach Perry Lachak. Coach Lachak served as a physical education teacher and head baseball coach at Woodington Middle School from 1986 until 2010. Professionally, Mr. Lachak played for the Canadian national team in the 1979 Pan American Games, the 1980 Amateur World Series, and in the 1981 International Cup. This item was discussed at our most recent Facilities Committee meeting and is submitted tonight for first reading and consideration per Board Policy 9300.
And the committee voted to advance that to this meeting for your information.
Are there any questions, Mr. Harvey?
So this requires 2 readings.
According to the policy 9300, it does.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so we could do the 2nd in December, and then do we vote in January, or can we vote in December?
We can vote in December.
Any other comments? Thank you, Mr. Harvey.
Thank you.
And the request will return at a subsequent meeting for board action.
Yes, sir.
Chair recognizes Mrs. Helen Hooker to present the October 2023 financial report.
Thank you and good evening.
Good evening.
For your review tonight is the October 2023 financial report. The report summarizes budget and year-to-date activity for all Lenore County Board of Education funds as of October 31st, 2023. Additionally, the report presents the local unadjusted current expense fund balance as of October 31st, 2023. If you have any questions and you've had time to review the report, I'll be happy to address them for you.
So there are a couple of board members that asked questions about the slight amount in the fund balance, and you and Lisa Davis and I talked about that, and you do expect that to increase dramatically quickly.
Yes.
They're expecting, for instance, approximately at least between $1.5 and $2 million in indirect cost alone.
That is correct.
For the projects that we're doing with the ESSER projects. So that should increase quickly.
So, question. So is the fund balance where it is now because of paying out of bonuses? Is that, or what?
No, some of that is for pending reimbursements.
Insurance.
Yeah, insurance claims.
Like for instance, to be specific on that, some of the claims we have pending, like for the roof work at South Lenore High School where that was blown off, that money has not been received yet from that claim, and all that had to be paid. Is having to be paid now, and that's, I think, ×3, and all that is, it's like you have to pay now and you're waiting for the insurance check to come in. So we should have 3 large ticket items just from that and the indirect cost.
What about the electrical work we did?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same.
Okay.
Is it minus that 5,000 deductible?
Yes.
Any other questions, Mrs. Hooker? Any comments? All right, thank you, Mrs. Hooker, for that
Thank you.
report. All right, we will now move to the action portion of the agenda. Dr. Outlaw, can you hear? Dr. Outlaw?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Chair recognizes Mrs. Frances Herring to present the NC STAR school improvement plans for the 2023-2024 school year.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board members. At the last board meeting, I presented the school improvement plans for each of the 17 schools. I did an overview of what you would see, and we uploaded for you an executive summary of each of the plans and the actual comprehensive report itself. So you've had both to review and read over, and I respectfully request that you accept the school improvement plans as they were presented last month.
Any question for Mrs. Herring? Thank you, Mrs. Herring. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to school improvement plans?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. King. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Who did I hear first?
Doesn't matter.
Mr. Smith. Okay, we got a motion by Mr. King and a second by Mr. Smith to approve the 2023-2024 NC STAR School Improvement Plans as presented. Did you hear the motion, Dr. Outlaw?
Yes.
All right, any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Anderson.
Ms. Harris?
Yes, sir.
We're halfway through with these plans.
Yes, sir.
In January, when the schools come in for a review of these plans,
Yes, sir.
kind of adjustments, if necessary?
So what is so beneficial to the NC Star platform is that they are able to adjust. So what we uploaded for you at the last board meeting has actually evolved since then. They review their school improvement plans on a monthly basis. Actually, they review them twice a month. They're required to have 2 meetings a month. So whatever changes, they've looked at their NC check-in data since these have been uploaded. They've looked at Dibble's data. They've looked at common formative assessments that they've implemented in the classrooms. So even from the upload of these 30 days ago, adjustments have been made. We've also met with all the principals, our testing and accountability interim staff have gone and met with all of our principals to discuss the testing data with them to make sure they fully understand the denominator and the numerator with regards to how the grades are averaged by the state of North Carolina. We've also met with principals individually to go through each of their schools' data and to drill down through students. So given even what you have from 30 days ago, we've already made a lot of adjustments.
I'm concerned though. The number of classes with substitutes. Are we monitoring the assessments and feedback that we're getting?
We are, yes, sir. Because they're the common formative assessments, meaning it's the same assessment given in all, for example, all 7th grade math classes. So if there is a classroom that doesn't have a certified teacher and has a long-term sub, we're able to, the teachers that are in that team or even in that building are able to adjust the lessons for those students in that classroom as the common formative assessments indicate.
I will be particularly interested in January.
Yes, sir.
Seeing that feedback.
We can certainly do that. We can highlight the classes at each of the schools, if there is a long-term sub, and how those students are performing. We'd be happy to
And Ms. Herring, you might want to also share what we're doing instructionally with the veteran teachers writing plans for those classrooms.
They are. So our experienced veteran career teachers are providing lesson plans and assessments that they've created to help assist in the classes, newer teachers and classes that have long-term subs. So we are doing everything we hope we can do.
Respectfully, I would like to see that in January.
We'll be happy to get that together for you. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Dr. Outlaw Starkey?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Terry will submit the school improvement plans to the Department of Public Instruction.
Thank you so much.
Chair recognizes Mr. Nick Harvey to present a request to convey the DJ Linhart Park to the city of Kinston.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A request has been made by City Attorney, Mr. Carley, to our board to convey the DJ Linhart Park, also known as Acton Park, to the city of Kinston. The city of Kinston has maintained this property for well over 30 years and can and will produce all monetary contributions in full detail to surpass the value of the property. As you can see in the document in your packet, the parcel is still listed as being owned by the Kinston City Board of Education. This item was also discussed at our most recent Facilities Committee meeting and is submitted tonight to be considered as surplus property to begin the conveyance steps as submitted in your packet. I'll entertain any questions you may have.
Any questions, Mr. Harvey?
How many acres did you say? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
How many acres did you say?
It's bigger than that looks.
I have it all.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's bigger than it looks.
22 something.
25 acres, something.
It goes to
24 acres.
Goes to the full
Yeah, about
range.
20.
Go all the way to the range. And there's
Yes.
I just read about it a couple times. After you mentioned it.
Yep, 23.480 acres.
This is not little than 23 acres.
Not from.
Any other questions for Mr. Harvey? Thank you, Mr. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to DJ Linhart Park?
So moved for surplus.
Motion by Mr. Anderson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by, okay.
What is the motion?
You got it,
Commit
Dr. Outlaw.
surplus.
Thank you.
So we got a motion by Mr. Anderson and a second by Dr. Outlaw Starkey. Now, are we requesting, is it all in the same vein to be surplus and to convey it?
Go
No, sir,
through
it's
the
just
process.
declaring it, right now, we're just declaring it surplus.
Right, just to declare.
Declare it surplus,
All right.
yeah.
To declare DJ Linhart Park surplus.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any discussion? Not hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Dr. Outlaw Starkey?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Harvey? You didn't make the, notify the proper. All right, is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to closed session?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Chairman, I move that Lenore County Board of Education enter into closed session under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11 to prevent the disclosure of confidential personnel files, to consult with the board's attorney in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege, and to consider matters relating to the initial employment of an individual employee.
We have a motion by Mr. Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smith. Motion by Mr. Anderson, second by Mr. Smith to move to closed session. Any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion, as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, Dr. Outlaw Starkey?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 7-0. We are now in closed session. Thank you. Chair recognizes that Lenore County Board of Education is back in open session. Is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to the monthly personnel recommendation?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Smith.
move to approve the personnel report with addendum.
Motion by Mr. Smith. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Cash. Have a motion by Mr. Smith and a second by Mrs. Cash to approve the monthly personnel recommendations with the addendum as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Dr. Outlaw Starkey?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams, please notify the employees of this action. Okay, with no further business to come before this board, is there a recommendation or motion pertaining to adjournment?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Smith. Motion by Mr. Anderson and a second by Mr. Smith to adjourn the November 6, 2023 regular monthly board meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, chair will call for the vote. All in favor of the motion as stated, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Dr. Outlaw Starkey?
Yes.
Motion carries. 7-0. Meeting is adjourned. Please stay safe.
Thank you.